Good morning. That was some beautiful music. There will be more. So, good morning on this amazing, incredible Sunday morning, January 29th, and you are at the Umpqua Unitarian Universalist Congregation, and we are so glad to have you here. We want to know that here, we want to know you. Whoever you are, whoever you love, however you describe or name the holy, you are welcome here, all of you. And I especially want to welcome those who are here for the first time, and a couple people who haven't been here for a while, that it's so good to see them. And I see a few more people who have been here several times recently, and it's so nice to have you back. So, welcome to you all. As you know, our congregation is still vaccinated and also masked, and we do that, of course, as an added protection to keep us all safe. And I ask one more thing of you. If you got one of these with a button on the side, make sure mine is, because that would be embarrassing. Please silence it. There are announcements in your order of service. However, Al Herring has an announcement that he'd like to share with you. Al, you want to come up?
Thank you, Lillian. I'm Al, and it's in your insert in the order of service that we're doing an AEO event. This will be the second meeting called Sharing Your Religious Odyssey, and it's scheduled for this coming Wednesday evening, starting at 6 o'clock downstairs. We would love to have any or all of you join us. And if you are interested, there's more information on the back table. You got to find the right distance here. And we would like you to pre-register. Thank you very much.
What Al didn't say, and I hoped he would, is it's a really, really popular and important sharing, and a wonderful way for all of us to get to know each other, who we are, where we've been, how we got here, and a little more about what we're all about. So we encourage you to join us, and I'm hoping that that workshop will just kind of continue on, but that's just planting a seed. Of course, it's up to Al. I want to tell you about our speakers today. Many of you, of course, know them, but a few of you don't. And today we have Reverends Bonnie Anderson and Andy Anderson. That incredible, amazing prelude that we were listening to, of course, was from Andy, and he brings a very special beauty and truth-telling and a lot of original thought to the songs that he writes and the things he chooses to play, and you'll hear more from him as the service goes on. And Reverend Bonnie Anderson, well, she's speaking today about how to awaken the dormant gifts that we've only begun to explore and can awaken our dreams. And you'll hear much more from her. I want to also thank our greeters, and Al and Mary, and our staff, and Jake Tranter on media, and everyone who does anything to help put Sunday services together. One of the first things we do is we take a collection for the Fish Pantry, which is a food donation service supported by a number of Roseburg churches and congregations, and it has been supported by us for a very, very long time. So we're going to come around with some baskets, and we hope that in compassion for those in need, that if you have food or monies that you're able to share, we'll be able to provide for those living amongst us who are hungry, ill, or without resources. So the baskets are coming around. Our church offertory will come later in the service. Thank you so much for your generous support. Your money will be used well. Welcome to our live streaming audience. We always like to acknowledge that you are here. As you know, we begin each service with the lighting of our chalice, and the words selected for today are by Betts Wenicky, and it's entitled, "May This Flame." May this flame, symbol of transformation since time began, fire our curiosity, strengthen our wills, and sustain our courage as we seek what is right and good within and around us. I have some opening words for this morning, and they're by Eleanor Roosevelt. Do not stop thinking of life as an adventure. You have no security unless you can live bravely, excitingly, imaginatively, unless you can choose a challenge instead of competence. Andy, can you give us some music?
Looking at the sun, stars, the moon, the sky. So glad to know that I'm alive. My eyes are open wide. Everything that you feel, know that it's real. Just take it in and feel the love, the peace, the joy. So glad that I know it's just another blessed day. Just another blessed day. I look all around me, all that I see is life itself looking back at me, smiling. How do you do? It's saying to me, how do you do? Everything that I say is leading me to what is true for me and for you. Oh, so glad I know it's just another blessed day. No matter what comes and goes, life is like the river that always flows. It's breathing in, breathing out. I'm one with the one, it's alright. It's only waiting for you. So come on and dive into your truth. Oh, nothing's holding you. Today's a new you, a brand new you. Oh, today is a blessed day, perfect time and space to love myself and let go of everything else. I choose to see the best in myself, the best in everyone else. Oh, there's nothing else I need to do. Just let His love come shining through. Oh, so glad I know it's just another blessed day. It's just another blessed day. It's just another blessed day. Ooh.
That's Andy Anderson. Alila is here, and I had a chance to talk with her earlier. And if there are any of the rest of you who have children that got left at home, I'll bet Alila would love to have them go downstairs with her and Anand. So let's sing them downstairs now with Go Now in Peace, number 413. It is at this time in our service when we do our Circle of Life, and that's an opportunity to share joys and concerns with candle lighting of things that may be happening in your life, or milestones, or something that you feel you want to share with the congregation. So if you have something you'd like to share, I'd love to have you come around the back, and we'll come across the front of the congregation. I'll have candles, and you can light them here. This is the time in our service when we collect the offertory. We are supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join with us. Your support fuels this community and its mission, and without your support, the flame of justice, community, and love cannot burn so brightly. What is given now is received with grateful appreciation. That's a hard question. For the gifts we have received, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world and to expand our beloved community. Reverend Andy?
Living in the perfect moment. I don't worry about yesterday. One step in front of the other, smiling, it's a brand new day. I let the good times keep on rolling, it's the only way. I give thanks for everything around me, let love just have its way. The sun keeps shining each and every day. I know where there's a will, there's a way. I won't let anything get in the way of me living in a bigger way. Oh, what a great day to be alive. I'm moving in a new direction. I don't look at what could have been. There's nothing that can hold me back now. Everything's okay. May mercy bring compassion, love and happiness, and overflow my life with kindness. Hallelujah, namaste. I am all that I am. There's only love you see. Oh, what a great day to be alive. What a great day to be alive. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. What speaks to you, and don't ever let go, no matter what you do. Yeah, I see with both eyes open. It's a brand new day, and every moment keeps on pushing me to be more than I can be. And I'm always grateful, thankful with every breath I breathe. My life is so marvelous, beautiful. Everything's right here for me. I am all that I am to be. Oh, you and me, there's only love you see. Oh, what a great day to be alive. Oh, what a great day to be alive. Yeah. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah. Oh, what a great day to be alive. Oh, what a great day to be alive.
Well, you've met Andy, so now let me tell you a little bit about Reverend Bonnie Anderson. Many of you, of course, already know her, but for those of you who do not, the two of them share their musical talents and wonderful words all around the West Coast. They previously were ordained ministers with the Center for Spiritual Living. And Reverend Bonnie, she's interesting. She's an amazingly interesting teacher. And her speaking style is very upbeat and energetic. Her mission is that through her work, she brings more peace to the world and peace to our inward worlds. She uses personal stories, many of her own, as examples to sort of drop ideas right into the heart. So please welcome Bonnie Anderson.
Thank you, Lilene. It's good to see all of you today. It's so wonderful to be here. It just feels good. You all look so beautiful. I wish you could see the view from up here. So my topic this morning is awaken your dormant gifts. I had to do a meditation before this, so all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just be still for a moment and breathe. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take a nice big breath. And let go of anything it took to get here this morning. Let go of your to-do list. Any concerns on your heart. And just feel yourself fully present in your chair in this moment. And imagine yourself standing in a meadow in the sun. It feels so good to have the sun today, so just imagine yourself on the green grass. It's warm. The sun is shining on you, and it feels so wonderful, so rejuvenating. Maybe you see wildflowers around you. Imagine your favorite flowers in this field. And as you stand there, you open your arms and open your heart. And breathe love into your heart. Just spend a moment, and every breath you take, imagine love going right into your heart. As you feel your heart get bigger and you feel all that vitamin D soaking into your body from the glorious sun, take another deep breath and let it all in. And just sit with this in the silence for a moment. And now that our hearts are full and we're warmed by the sun, we feel great gratitude, so much gratitude for where we are right now. And when you're ready, come back into the room, move your body a little, and open your eyes. Okay, now we're back. And now I'll say, you are all much more powerful than you ever can imagine. We know more than we think we know if we just let go of our self-imposed limits, because they really are self-imposed. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy, aren't we? I don't think I would let anybody talk to me the way I sometimes talk to myself. We are a vessel for divine intelligence. We are a vessel for the heart of the universe. The universe expresses through us, and it's such a wonderful thing. And you know, it all depends on where you look. If you look up into infinite possibilities, or if you look down into what the world tells us we cannot do. Because the world is all full of all kinds of advice. You can't heal from that. You can't do that. Physically, you're too old for that job. Whatever it is, there's so many things. Or too young. There's so many things that the world tells us. And as they tell us we can't go beyond these limits, but people go beyond them all the time. You know the story of Roger Bannister, the first man who ran the 4-minute mile in 1954. Now, it was thought then that the human body could not run that fast. It was impossible for our bodies to run a mile in 4 minutes or less. Until one guy figured he would try it, and he trained for it. He said, "However ordinary each of us may seem, we are all in some way special and can do things that are extraordinary, perhaps until then even thought impossible." And that's what he did. Now, I think high school kids run the 4-minute miles. I mean, it's an everyday thing. This is kind of interesting, so interesting to me. It was long believed that long distance running for women caused infertility. So that we were told not to run. And that women were not physically able to run a marathon. Now, how many of you know women who've run marathons? Maybe friends. Yeah. In 1966, a woman named Roberta Gibbs sneaked into the Boston Marathon and ran it, completed the race. And after that, there were women that tried to do that, and they were caught. You've probably seen the picture of a woman being forcibly removed, like the men taking her off the course because they were not allowed to run. It was not until 1972 that women were allowed to run the Boston Marathon. Isn't that amazing? Now, I want to tell you a story about a remarkable woman that I discovered in preparing for this class, this talk. Sister Madonna Buter started running when she was almost 50. She was a nun and ran her first triathlon at 52. They call her the Iron Nun. At 82, she ran the Ironman triathlon and became the oldest woman to finish. She ran over 400 triathlons, including 45 Ironman triathlons, which are even more difficult. She ran, an Ironman triathlon is a 2.4-mile swim. And you know, you're not just swimming leisurely, you're racing. Everybody's going as fast as they can. Then a 112-mile bike ride, and then you run a full marathon, 26.2 miles. In her last triathlon, she opened a new category, 90 years and above. So Jake, would you please play the video for me? I found a short little video about her that I think you will really enjoy.
Running the marathon didn't bother me, but doing only a marathon's a killer in itself. So I could not conceive of doing 120 miles of biking plus a long swim before that. But you know, the more you object to something, sometimes it kind of haunts you. Well, I got haunted.
Here she comes then, folks. This is Sister Madonna Buter. 90 years old, 45 Ironman triathlons under her belt, the Iron Nun, finishing it up at the 2020 Last Call Triathlon.
Well, first of all, you have to have the 7 Ds to succeed in anything. You have to dream, and from the dream comes the desire. From the desire comes the dedication. From the dedication comes the discipline. From the discipline comes the determination to dare to do it. I actually got into triathlon through running, and I was introduced to running by a priest. So I entered some more running races, and from that met a friend who had gone to Kona to do the Ironman. And when he came back from Kona, he said, "Sister, you've got to do this." I said, "Do what?" He said, "Well, there's a 2.4-mile swim and 112 miles of biking and a marathon on top of that. And it's in Hawaii." I said, "What?" And then did about 45 Ironman since. Well, that's one thing I'll never understand. How a little old lady can be an inspiration to anybody. I don't understand it, but I don't have to understand it. I just want to do God's will. And if God's putting me out there to be an encouragement for others as they advance in years, I accept it. And I don't understand it, but I don't have to.
Wasn't that wonderful? I found that this morning. Just happened to find it doing a little more research on her. So what is really possible? So much more than we think. And not just physical power, there's spiritual power. If you've ever read the autobiography of a yogi, it's a wonderful story of Yogananda. And he said, you realize that all along there was something tremendous within you, and you did not know it. And in his book, he talks about yogis who were able to, I forget what the word is, but they were able to be two places at once. I mean, he would be having a conversation, someone would be having a conversation with one of the saints, and then someone would call on the phone and say, I just saw him on the street, on the corner. And there was a woman that supposedly could bring fragrances out of nothing, and a saint who actually lived off air. So it's just fascinating when you think about what could be possible. You realize all along there was something tremendous in you, and you did not know it. So what is your dormant gift? What's your dormant power? Dormant means it's asleep. So it's just there within you, waiting to be awakened. So in 1999, when I was almost 50, I walked the Honolulu Marathon. Now, I wasn't in great shape, but a friend invited me to, and it was through the Leukemia Society team in training. So we had a team of people that worked together. We had to raise a certain amount of money, and we met every weekend with a whole big group of people that walked, and every Saturday we walked further for like 3 months and did training on our own. And so they flew us, if you raised the amount of money that you were supposed to, I don't remember how much it was, they flew us to Honolulu, and we stayed in a place on the ocean, and we walked the Honolulu Marathon. Now, we didn't run it, although some runners will say that walking is harder because you're walking forever. I forget how long it took us, like 7 hours, something like that. It took us a really long time, but it was amazing that we actually did it. And I never thought I could do that. And so I think it's easier to do some of these things when you have people supporting you. And we had a team of people who expected that we could do it, who we trained with together and lifted us all up. It's easier to move beyond our perceived limits when you are with people who believe in you. And one of the reasons we come together as community in this church is to support each other. And gathering in community and supporting all of us is a wonderful thing about churches, about coming together. Because maybe we need to speak out about the things that need to be said out loud. To say no to the violence and the hatred that's in our world now. You know, the videos that have been shown recently. I haven't watched them, but there's so much happening now. And maybe it's time to speak out about it as a community. So is there something that you have felt called to do that you've not done? Maybe something that seems impossible. What's continued to knock at your door that you know you should bring into existence? The gift that only you can bring into the world. It could be a book waiting to be written, a business started, a nonprofit begun. It could even be something small like a letter to the editor, speaking your truth, something that needs to be said by you. It could be a vegetable garden that needs planting, or beautiful flowers that need to be planted, a flower garden that wants to be born. Even a long-desired vacation that seems impossible, that would inspire you and bring you joy. In her book, Do You Quantum Think?, Diane Collins says, quantum physics indicates that there is no way that it is out there, that our knowing affects our reality. Our intent affects our reality. That the observer shapes the reality. So what we think comes about. What kind of messages to give to yourself? Like I was saying before, do you say, I could never do that? That's too hard. I'm too old. I'm not smart enough, fit enough. Society tells me it's not possible. Well, we just saw some things about people doing impossible things. Remember Roger Bannister. Remember the Iron Nun. Remember the authorities telling women that they would become infertile if they did long distance running. So the Iron Nun said, when you dream, it brings about desire. And desire brings dedication. And dedication brings discipline. Discipline brings determination, which then it's done. The task is done. Our thoughts hold many of our dreams hostage. Our negative thoughts just hold those dreams hostage. As I said, we are so much more powerful than we think we are. So let's give a life to our dreams and gifts. Let's awaken those dormant gifts. Let us look for encouragement from those around us and find people who will support those abilities. Because, all of your friends won't. We probably all have friends that will say, you can't do that. You've never done that. You've tried that before and you always give up. There might even be a family member that reminds us of that. But I say search out those, the people around you today who will support you in taking a leap. Not necessarily running a marathon, but writing a letter or speaking out to someone that you need to say something to, or being an agent for peace in the world. And let's support our friends in awakening their dormant gifts, and then we can all transform together. Andy wrote a wonderful song called Everything is Possible that I love. And he has a new CD back there actually with a song on it, and the songs he sang, if you want to pick it up, because it's nice to listen to it. So he's going to sing it right now. Yeah, I'm through, so now it's your turn.
Sometimes I lose my way, and even in the darkest day, there's a light always shining bright, leading me into the light. When I stumble, can't find my way, something inside will always guide my way. I listen to that voice inside, reminding me that's where my love resides. Every day is a perfect day to surrender and let it lead the way. It's in my life, it's all I am. I release and let go. I know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. When I remember nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. I know nothing is impossible. I know that everything is possible. And when I forget that nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. Things in life will always come and go. It's so good to know what you know. We are free and one with all of life. Keep smiling, everything's alright. I am lifted each and every day. Truth and love, is my nothing's impossible. With spirit, with love, everything is possible. In my neighborhood, everywhere I go, I'm one with the universe. Just let it flow. Look all around me, it's all I see. Oh, the gifts are really given to me. It's up to me to know and believe. Speak my word, today I'm free. Nothing is impossible. That everything is possible. I know that nothing is impossible. And I remember that everything is possible. I know nothing is impossible. Said I know that everything is possible. And when I forget nothing is impossible, I remember that everything is possible. I know, I know, I know, I know, and I remember that everything and nothing is impossible.
Wow. Between Bonnie's presentation and that music, you must have something to say out there. So, how about some feedback? Come on, what's not impossible? Was that a scratch?
Thank you for the wonderful sermon today. You make me think of that song, that poem called Invictus, out of the night that covers us. Black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. It matters not how straight the gate or how severe the scroll. We are the masters of our fate, the captains of our soul. And I always add, with God's help. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Larry. That was beautiful.
Well, I got a whole lot written down here. The pen didn't work too well, which is not a good thing. I need a good pen for Sunday services. But what I know from my life in the last few years is that I need to say to my children, not being who you need makes me afraid to be who I'm becoming. And I need to let them know that that's what their need. I mean, these are 60-year-old people, for crying out loud. But that fear is still there, that I need to mama them. And I don't want to mama them. We did that. We did that really well. And so I've got it here: dream, desire, dedication, discipline, determination, dare to do it. Thank you for those, and thank you for reading, because I didn't have them all down from what she said. It was wonderful to see the Iron Nud. Thank you for that, too.
Those parental things, those parental roles can be hard to give up. I know what you mean.
So yeah, thank you, Reverend Bonnie. Thank you, Reverend Danny, for coming and speaking today. Yeah, to get a little personal myself, I know I was brought to tears a couple of times, just because the words that you spoke and the songs that you sang brought me back to when I was kind of in the throes of addiction, and how hopeless that can feel. And like with the strength of community, with the strength of the higher power, that dormant gift, that renewal of the self, that nothing is impossible, that you can come back from anything and be, who your higher power meant you to be. So yeah, thank you so much for coming today.
Hey, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
Just 2 words, very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you for this wonderful sermon. You talked about having the support that helps you realize your dreams and your hopes. And a lot of times when I was hearing you talk about that, I thought, we like to decide who our support is. And we oftentimes overlook that support coming from a place that we are not always aware of. And when you said open up your heart, I think for me it's learning to open my heart to receiving support. It's sometimes really hard to receive support. I think for me, having been a pastor for many years, you feel like that you're always the one that's supposed to give support. And to humble myself and realize that I need support, and to not have a preconceived notion of where that support might come from.
Thank you, Jody. That's wise words, wise words.
Can I have a second chance? At 86, you bet.
Okay, so now that I'm off my own hitch here, I'm talking about the heart that comes to this place. Yes, we all have things that need to be done and the time, etc., and we're not even doing those things. So why the heck should we do something for church? Well, Bonnie said it. Every little bit that shows I can help here helps people you can't even imagine, because they're getting some help getting something done. So as Dennis is trying to help us become a church and all, let's everybody just think what my little bit might be able to do to help the general goodness of this place become real.
Wonderfully said.
Well, I got one. Gosh. The D's for me have not been that difficult, except for the last one. And the last one is dare to. A lot of us have dreams and fantasies. We turn things over in our mind. We know there are things that we want. We know changes that we'd like to see, but we get stuck. In our own minds, we can go through most of those D's, but then it gets to the dare to. And I've been stuck on that one recently, and I said to JC this weekend, I'm not being stuck anymore. Here's my dare to, and I invite you to join me. I want to make this a welcoming congregation to all queers, and I want your help. I've put it off for a while at Good Advice, and we're going to be starting up in the next couple of months. I need your support. I want your input. I want you to talk to other congregants, and I need you to hear there are so many young people out in our Roseburg community. You've seen them in the Pride Parade. You've heard about them. You've read about them in the newspaper. They're coming out. They don't have support. Many are being thrown out of their homes because of the homes that we know here exist in Roseburg. There's no understanding for their changes. And there aren't enough older lesbians and gay men and transsexual people and two-spirited people and non-binary people to be mentors and allies. And more importantly than that, and this is the one I really hope carries over the waves tonight, people listen to this on YouTube, and most of all, each of you. What we need most are non-queer allies. The hardest thing when you're coming out is to lose your family or to have to move away because you feel fear and unsafe in your community. And many young people who have been coming out in the last year or two are feeling that way here in our home in Roseburg. So that was a big, bigger than I thought to do, but I'm hoping that everyone will join with me, and we will not continue to be one of the 15 or 20% of UU churches that are not welcoming churches yet. Let's change that. I dare you.
No, well said. Yes. We have a voice back here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Merlin. Oh,
Merlin.
I know you got a voice. A couple more do too, like Mr. Al over there.
Hi, I'm Merlin. Wow. For some reason, I need to disagree with her. My experience has been, for the number of years that I've been here, it has always been a welcoming church. And so we can make it stronger, but I think we're already there.
Well, not to start an argument, but I sure would like to see a sign over the door, maybe a rainbow flag, maybe included in the services, and you will. You will. Our Reverend is committed to that happening in this town, and it's needed. I feel welcome here. This is my first church. I never belonged to a church before. Church has told me I was sinful and sick and crazy and dirty, and no way. So, please. Thank you for putting up with my dare to. Those of you who know me, I get a little passionate. We have some closing words and a chalice to extinguish together. And the words that I selected for today are really nice. The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part. And the world is too broken to be healed by only one set of hands. May you have the courage to use your gifts. May you go in peace, walk softly, speak truthfully, love gently, breathe deeply, and live wisely. And please join us for Go Lift It Up. Thank you for joining us, and please stay for conversation after.
And Sam's cookies.
Oh, Sam's cookies.